Before 1994, gay, lesbian, and bisexual people were barred from the military. Then, from 1994 until 2011, a policy called Don't Ask, Don't Tell allowed them to serve, as long as nobody knew their sexual orientation. All told, since 1980, almost 33,000 people were separated from the military under those policies. On September 20th, the 12th anniversary of the repeal of Don't Ask, Don't Tell, the Pentagon announced it will begin proactively upgrading the discharge codes of those separated under that policy. However, it doesn't help more than 20,000 people who were tossed out of the military before 1994 when Don't Ask, Don't Tell took effect. A new federal lawsuit filed in California seeks to address that.
For me, I went into the Marine Corps going, hey, I want to be a Marine. That's really what I want to do.
Jules Son, a plaintiff in the lawsuit, was commissioned as a second lieutenant in the Marine Corps in 1999. She says she knew that as a member of the LGBTQ community under Don't Ask, Don't Tell, she'd have to live in the closet.
I could have my personal life and my Marine Corps life. And so this is my idealistic self in my early 20s thinking I could do that.
After a tour in Iraq in 2005, Son left active duty. She was approached by activists with the Service Members Legal Defense Fund to talk about serving under the Don't Ask, Don't Tell policy. She says her decision to share her story is what sparked an investigation into her, even though she was in the inactive Ready Reserve. Son was discharged in 2008. Although it was an honorable discharge, it was involuntary, which she sees as a black mark on her military record.
How do you explain that to people, right? It's like kind of awkward because they're like, oh, is it a dishonorable discharge? And you're like, no, it's an honorable discharge, but it's involuntary, and they don't understand what that means.
Elizabeth Kristen is an attorney who specializes in gender equity and LGBTQ rights. She says service members' discharge papers include outdated and discriminatory language.
It says to me shocking things on it. It says homosexual admission. It says homosexual conduct. It says attempt to engage in homosexual conduct, attempt to engage in same-sex marriage.
This language appears at the bottom of people's DD 214s, the document veterans submit for VA benefits and to qualify for veteran preferences when applying to federal jobs. Kristen says veterans can petition on a case-by-case basis to have their discharges amended, but the process often requires legal help, so many never do. San Diego attorney Melissa Johnson enlisted in the Air Force when she was just 17 and excelled, even joining an Air Force women's softball team and competing throughout Europe. But she says after getting kicked out in 1983, she didn't talk about her military service.
Probably for about 20 years, I never even mentioned to anybody that I was in the service, ever. People who were my best friends never knew I served. And I think I just tucked it away. And because I tucked it away, even when I had the opportunity to petition to upgrade my discharge, I just never did. And I still haven't.
Johnson is now the president of the San Diego Bar Association, but she says it took years to recover from the trauma of her discharge. She isn't involved in the lawsuit, but says fixing veterans' paperwork is the least the Pentagon can do.
It would probably make me feel better about my military service, that the government actually did something affirmatively to help me. And so I think it would make a lot of veterans feel more satisfied with their military service.
The legal team behind the suit says although it welcomes the Pentagon's new initiative regarding these discharges, the department has much more to do before every veteran impacted by its longtime ban receives justice. Andrew Dyer, KPBS News.